welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. I am going to be showing you guys 5 steps to flawless foundation so you can slay all day, honey. I kind of had thought about what are some things that I've done wrong that I want to teach you guys how not to do, so hopefully y'all can learn from my example. And I'm going to be also showing you guys a full cream contour and highlight and how to do that, how to blend it, what techniques I like, and everything like that. So I hope that you guys learned some new tips from this video, and I hope you enjoy. Make sure you look down below for all of the products, the links, and my social media links. I'll also put them right here. Guys, make sure you click that red subscription box down below for me, and I will be coming up in your subscription box and you can be keeping up with all of my videos. But let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. So what we're going to start out with is step number 1, which is prime. Priming is so important. I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about whether or not it actually makes a difference, but to me it makes a huge difference. In terms of first, mainly just the application of the foundation on top. Today I'm going to be using the YSL Blur Primer, and I am going to be using this on a Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86 brush. So why I like using a brush is that the brush is going to kind of absorb some of the excess, and it's also going to apply it a little bit more evenly in my opinion than how my hands do. Also, one thing that I wanted to mention is that every primer is different and everybody's skin is different, so some of the things that work for me might not work for you. I do, however, think that this primer is pretty universal because it is blurring out the pores, it gives a little tiny bit of radiance, but it's not like too oily. So now we're going to step 2, which is foundation, and today I'm going to be using the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-hour makeup. For application, the main thing I want you guys to remember is that you can either use your hands, a brush, or a sponge. However, I personally prefer to use a sponge because, like I said, when I have dry patches, the brush will like move those around a lot unless you use tapping motions, but with a sponge it really just presses the product on top of the skin and it gives a much more kind of airbrush flawless look. So I'm just going to put a pump of that first and start out with that. And what I'm actually going to do is go ahead and dip the sponge in it. And I'm going to start applying this to the center of my face. So as you can see, I'm just tapping the sponge, but I'm not like swiping it like this. When you are using the Beauty Blender sponge, you're going to use more product because the sponge is going to absorb the excess. One of the things that's so important with application is that you want to bring it out into the hairline and out onto your ears so that it doesn't look like your face is a different color than your ears and your neck. So, and one of the problems that I always have is I blend it out here and then I don't bring it all the way back, and then I watch myself back and I'm like, rookie mistake. So the next thing, our step number 3, is going to be conceal. So I'm going to start out with the Becca Aqualuminous in Porcelain. What you're going to do is take a concealer that's about 2 shades lighter than your foundation, which is what I like to do. And this is going to sort of start the highlighting process for us as well. So basically what you're going to do is take your concealer wand or your brush, go down the side of your nose like this, which is going to help to slim it out. And then we're going to bring this product out to about here. And then my favorite thing for blending out concealer is again the Beauty Blender. So what I'm doing is taking the tip of the Beauty Blender and pushing it into the side of my nose to slim that out. And then I'm going to be blending out the edges of the concealer first before I go in right underneath. We are nice and awake and brightened and alive, but what we're going to do now is go ahead and take our concealer and we are going to bring light back into the center of the face. We want to give some attitude into the face. So we're taking that on the tip of the chin. We're going to do this on the nose, and I am going to try and draw the straightest line possible on the nose. center of the forehead. I like to draw like 3 little lines, if you guys can see that. Then taking my Beauty Blender and just blending this out. So now we have our highlighting done. So the next step we're going to do after our highlighting is we're going to bake the under eye. I would either use the Laura Mercier translucent powder, the Cover FX perfect setting powder, or the Kat Von D, which is what I'm going to use today. I like to get kind of a lot of product to come out. I am going to take that same damp sponge. You're going to make sure that you've blended out the creases and then just pretty much pack that onto the concealer and setting the sides of the nose as well. And then whatever's left over, I like to just take and set these areas of my face. So the next thing I'm going to do is contour, and this is step 5. I'm going to be taking my Graftobian cream foundation palette. It's called Warm, Super Palette and Warm. So I'm going to be taking a flat foundation brush. This one is just from Sigma. It's an F60. So I'm going to mix this one here and one that's slightly darker and a little bit more ashy toned. And I'm going to pretty much put these in the hollows of my cheeks. So I'm mixing about 3 of the shades, and you want to be careful not to bring this too far because you don't want your contour to go like all the way to your mouth. So I'm going to mix a little bit more of this shade here because it's going on a bit orange. You don't want it to be super orange. So also going to contour on the jawline. But anyways, I'm going to be taking a dense angled kabuki F84 from Sigma to blend this out. And what I'm doing is just pretty much really lightly. I don't want to mess up the foundation, so I'm sort of taking it and blending it upwards like that. And I prefer blending upwards because if you blend downwards, it can just blend way too far down. So now we're going to be taking this into the temples, and when you're blending out around your temples, you want to blend into the hairline. So keep in mind, these are all mistakes that I've done. So honestly, like, I'm still learning, we're all still learning, we learn new things every day. So if at first you don't succeed, try again, and I promise you'll get it. Anyways, I'm going to put a little bit more here because as you can see, it's kind of uneven. So with the jaw, I like to actually blend it downwards into the neck. I'm going to be taking the MAC Makeup Art Cosmetics Diane Kendall contour stick thing, and I like this contour shade a little bit more for my nose because it's a little bit more like neutral. And we're going to hold the brush and find the top of your nose, which is about like right here for me, and I'm going to just try and draw a straight line. And then I'm going to be bringing this right here. So I'm just taking my Artis Elite Circle 1R brush that I like to use to blend this out. So now that we've done that, I am going to go ahead and set. So setting is pretty much a key with your cream products and your foundation because you don't want them to slip around. So I'm going to be using the Benefit Hello Flawless to be setting the rest of the foundation today, and I'm just going to be setting the forehead here. This headband is not doing me good. And I'm also going to be setting the cheeks right here, and I'm also going to be dusting off that bake that we did. We're going to go ahead and set that contour as well. So to set those, I'm going to be using my Marc Jacobs Tantric bronzer. So to clean up that jawline, I'm going to be taking my Beauty Blender and some powder. I'm pretty much just going to bake that jaw. So we're going to leave that So to set the contour on my nose, this is my favorite brush to do this, and this is the Small Tapered Blending E45 from Sigma. And I'm just going to be taking that same Omega bronzer that we used. And then lastly, I'm going to highlight the face again. So I'm going to take my powder highlight, and this is Soft and Gentle by MAC. I'm going to use my Tapered Blending E40, this smaller brush, because I find that it just gives me more precision. I'm just going to place this on the top of the cheekbones. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the brush that we used for the powder. I'm just going to brush off that bake. You just see how like straighter and like cleaner it made it. Alright guys, so that is the finished foundation look. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I went ahead and finished up my eyes and lips and everything for the outro. But anyways, I hope that you learned some new tips and tricks. Make sure you leave your requests down below as well, because I'm always looking for new video ideas, and my closet tour will be coming very soon, so make sure that you guys stay tuned for that as well. Subscribe down below, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and learned something new, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.